Hi, I'm Milton Rendell and welcome to Real News Friday. Another interesting week, 875 sales achieved in the last week. House sales were up 7%, units were up 3% and land sales were down about 18%. So an interesting result, sort of fairly consistent to where we have been over the last probably 3 to 4 months. Stock to market is about 8,510, which is still fairly low, down about 6% on what we were 4 weeks ago and down 19% on where we were a year ago. Now, rentals, interesting one. The moratorium's obviously been lifted and we are now seeing a little bit of a shift and shake in the marketplace. So as many know, that we have seen increases in rent, but also what we did see is some of the vacancy rates go up as people are able, or investors or landlords are able to give their tenancies a bit of a shake-up. Obviously there were people who were taking advantage of the moratorium and that's something natural that happens in any market. So we would have seen a small spike in some of the vacancy rates out there, but we are seeing owners getting increased rents. Once again, depends on which area there are. So we'll see where we are probably in about a month's time. I think we'll have a clearer picture of how that things will be affected. I think we're going through a transitional stage with rentals. I've sort of indicated that a little bit in recent weeks. Amount of rentals available, 2,958. It's down 2%. But we're down in terms of number of rentals on the market last month, about 4%. In the last 12 months, about 24%. But again, in June, we did see the highest amount of, or in recent times, the highest amount of vacant properties since June 2020. So there has been a bit of a sort of a shake-up, as I'm calling it. I think as a landlord, you'd understand what I'm talking about. As a tenant, you would have obviously seen some increases, and as someone who's looking at the market, you're trying to assess whether to come back into the market as an investor. Now, talking about coming back in the market, there has been a sizable increase in inquiry from investors who are looking to get back in the market. Why? Obviously rent returns are on the improve, and a lot of people would believe that the quality of tenants may be better now this moratorium has been lifted, so we do have more selection and we're able to execute what is necessary to vacate a property if needed. Talking to some mates of mine over in the East Coast, you can imagine what sort of a mixed bag it is over there. A good friend of mine's got an agency in Dapto. Obviously they are very restricted in what they can do. He told me obviously they can't do home opens, but they can do private viewings, but you can only have X amount of people per viewing. He thought he was going to have Saturday afternoon off, but he ended up working all day just to show one property because he had about 30 people to show, and that took all day because you could only take a couple of people in at a time. So we're very fortunate over here. Our home opens have only been disrupted a couple of times and really fairly minimally, and we're able to do what we need to do at the moment. But overall interest is still really good. Talking to the Hills guys, there's definitely a shortage of stock on the market in the Hills at the moment. So if you are thinking about something, it'd be worth giving the guys that call at our Hills office or here at Midland, and we'll give you a bit of a snapshot of what's going in the marketplace and give you an appraisal, so that you can get an idea of what you can do. But also there's a shortage of rentals in the Hills, which is pretty standard for the Hills, to be honest, because there isn't always a large portfolio of properties available. But we certainly have seen still great interest around the Midland area, and we still are getting multiple applications for the rentals that we are putting out there, and still getting good numbers to those. An interesting one on the weekend also, we did have an open on a new property in Greenmount. Had an incredible amount of interest, and 25 lots of people looked through that home open in a period of 45 minutes, which is a hell of a home open. We're still seeing good numbers at home opens. I saw something similar even during the COVID period out in Middle Swan. I had about 16 couples through a property there. Had to have them queued out the door because we could only allow 10 people in the building at one time. So it is an interesting time to negotiate, or navigate is probably the better word, our way through certain parts. But overall market still seems to be going fairly well. Inquiry still going very well. For those who are thinking about selling, please give us a call. Happy to have a chat. Wish you all the best for the weekend and look forward to speaking again next week. In the meantime, check out realestateplus.com.au.